All I knew about Lanzhou before visiting was beef noodle soup, but I soon found out that the city has plenty more going on when it comes to history, culture and food. In the warm weather, you can enjoy activities by the Yellow River like drinking tea, speedboating or taking a cable car. We easily filled 3 days here on our Silk Road trip, and it was just the right amount of time to sightsee and eat at a leisurely pace. We made it! We arrived in Lanzhou from Xi'an by high-speed train. Once we settled into our hotel, it was time to head to dinner. And of course, I had my heart set on some Lanzhou beef noodle soup. Ooh la la, here we are. Well, it was closed, so we're gonna go somewhere else. We ended up walking through this little market street while looking for another noodle joint, which always gets me a bit excited, so we got a bit sidetracked. Oh, we've looked up 3 places and all of them have been shut so far, so still on the hunt. In the end, we settled for a Hui Muslim restaurant, which was also quite fitting because that night was the end of Ramadan, also known as Eid. The restaurant's decorations were so fun with these beautiful wood carvings separating each booth. We were given a tea with dates and rock sugar to start, and then ordered up a vegetable dish of eggplant and beans, plus a big plate of lamb jiaozi. A lot of the tables have bulbs of garlic on them, and you can just crack one off. The reason for this is to take a little bite of garlic and then take a bite of your food. It's really common. It tastes really good too. Do you want some garlic, Rob?
No, thank you.
Not into it.
Not as into it.
Cheers. We also ordered these hand-torn noodles in a hot and sour soup that Rob and I were basically fighting over. So good. This hand-torn noodle soup with little pieces of beef and some really slippery starch noodles. They're super soft. The best bit's the big chewy hand-torn noodles, I reckon. And I just love dumplings. I feel like I could eat unlimited dumplings. My dad used to have to tell me to stop when I was a kid. Because they're a one bite, you're like, just one more bite.
Yeah.
Just one more bite. The next day we headed out to see the Waterwheel Park down by the riverside. This is a free public space where some historic water wheels that were once used to irrigate Lanzhou are still running. The water was pumped inland to grow crops and to power large grinding stones to mill grains like corn. It's a really pretty public space and it's worth a stroll along the river. After some walking around, we wanted to try our luck with beef noodle soup, but soon realised our mistake. All right, we've buggered it up a few times, but beef noodle soup is a breakfast food, turns out. And so we've been to 4 closed restaurants now. Gonna go see if there's one on the map that's still open, so fingers crossed. At last, a beef noodle soup in Lanzhou. We perched up and shared a large bowl of soup, which was really heavy on the noodles. This bowl had a really rich and salty beef broth and was absolutely packed full. I realised pretty quickly that the noodles weren't coming apart because they're hand-pulled into such long strands that they're impossible to untangle. This was a really satisfying bowl and had us hooked on the flavour. The next morning, we even ordered some at our hotel breakfast. They made the noodles right in front of us, which was really cool. I know you might be thinking that food from a hotel is going to be mid-range, but something about China is that food in hotels and shopping malls is often really good and not seen in the negative light that it is in other countries. A lot of amazing restaurants are situated in shopping malls or attached to hotels, so try to keep an open mind when you're travelling. This bowl was especially good and had a nice ratio of noodle to soup, especially in the morning when you don't want to end up too stuffed. The broth was a little lighter and peppery, with the classic additions, a little bit of beef and some slices of soft cooked radish. Time to put that new roll mian to work and head out for a day of sightseeing. We took a walk over to the famous Zhongshan Steel Bridge to have a look around and then hopped on a cable car and headed across the Yellow River. There are plenty of water activities along the river like speedboats, sheepskin rafting and swimming if you're game. Or you can just ride over it on a cable car and head up for a walk through Baitashan Park, which you can stroll through all the way back down to the bridge. After a little rest at the hotel, we headed down the street to a glittery night market filled with all sorts of local specialties like jiaozi, boiled lamb's heads, and milk chicken. So we're at this oh wow, what's going on? I'll show you. It's milk chicken. I'm not really entirely sure. It looks like egg that's going in there. Anyway, there's a huge line for this place. That long line for milk chicken had us thinking while we were looking around at all the snacks on offer, like these oven-baked stuffed flatbreads called guokui, grilled lamb dishes, and the usual skewer offering. We visited a lot of these night markets across China, and it was really nice to see the difference here with more local cuisines offered among the usual stinky tofu and boboji. Okay, we have a plan. We're going to start with a roujiamo and then get a brick of potato because they have these big bricks of hash brown that look so good. And then we're going to line up for some milk chicken. I just couldn't resist these bricks of waxy yellow potato being fried and covered in chili sauce. Fried brick of potato. Honestly, what could go wrong? Oh. Except for that. Oh well. That's okay. Alright, off we go. So good. It's just like a banging hash brown, but with like Chinese flavors.
So good.
Oh wow. This is the roujiamo, which you can find sold next to the potato stalls. Unlike the ones in Xi'an, these are really soft buns stuffed with spicy cumin, beef, lamb or chicken. The stalls vary quite a bit, so try to pick one where the meat looks tender. Roujiamo with chopped up beef and covered in chili oil, spices, and then green peppers, which are really nice to add like a nice bitterness. Oh wow. That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite spicy, but like nice spicy. Oh yeah, it's on my face.
Yeah.
No, I want one more bite. And the bread is so soft.
That's delicious.
This is so good. Honestly, it was hard to pick a favorite. Like fried potato. Give it back. I want more. To round out the night, it was time for a nice cup of milk chicken. Despite its name, there isn't actually any chicken in this dish. It's actually a dessert made with fermented rice, milk, a little sugar and eggs. And that's where the chicken comes in. The hot drink is made by heating the rice with milk and sugar, and when it's boiling, the chef drops in whisked eggs to cook in the milky soup. Okay, we have this milk chicken. It's sort of like a dessert soup, which is a really popular concept in Chinese cuisine. Okay, it's got egg in it. I have milk, fermented rice, egg, and then it's topped with sesame peanuts and some dried raisins. It smells like rice pudding. That's nice.
Yeah.
There's a little sugar in it. It's quite light. Very light. And really hot. I think if you're a Westerner and you want a dessert, this is not for you. It's very Chinese style where it's like just sweet enough to be classified as dessert. But it's really nice. I like it. You might not find it worth the wait. Remember how I said not all roujiamo stalls are the same? Well, I went back for another one during this trip because I loved it so much, but I visited a different stall. The flavour of this one was incredible, but all the meat was very gristly. It can be a favoured texture for some Chinese people, so there's nothing wrong with it, but because I'm not used to it, I just didn't enjoy it, and I wanted to pass on this tip in case you aren't either. For our final meal, we headed over to a morning market that was right behind the hotel. It was filled with lots of locals selling noodles, fresh produce and baked goods. These flaky pancakes immediately caught my eye, and I'm sure you can see why. We ordered up a bundle and stopped on the side of the road for a taste test. We've got these potato stuffed flatbread things that look so fucking good. Like, oh my god. Oh, it's like so chewy and flaky. After a few bites, I realised it wasn't stuffed with potato. It was just a really thick spring onion pancake. Just so cute, she gave us a second bag to eat with. Keep your fingers clean. And look at it, how could you not buy this? Honestly, these were so good, we finished the whole bag with no problems. Yum. It's just really oniony and thick and chewy. Okay. Our next stop on the Silk Road is Xiangye in China's Gansu province, where we've booked a yurt stay and we'll be checking out some really mind-blowing rock formations. Of course, I'll be eating plenty of local dishes, so make sure you subscribe to join me along on this journey.